Hello there, I'm Tim and he's John and this is How to Murder Time, a podcast about games and things.
Hello everybody.
Watcher.
A week has passed. Actually, 2 weeks have passed.
I know, this is fortnightly routine, it's rather slack.
It is. It's rather good actually.
Allows me to fit in my hiking though.
It allows me to play some games.
It takes you a fortnight to find something to play.
Yeah.
Is it just staring at desktop icons? Because it can take me at least a week to do that sometimes.
Well, Monday,
yeah.
full of enthusiasm for the show.
Oh, you're going straight into
I edit the last week's show.
Right.
Tuesday, thinking, right, I need some content for the next show. I go to Steam and I download all the games I think I might want to play.
Right.
Then I forget about them until Sunday.
Good. Then you do like a frantic.
And then the off week on the Sunday show. This is the off week now.
Oh right. Okay.
I look at the ones I've downloaded.
Yeah. Think,
why on earth did I download those? Those all look rubbish. And download a new set.
You got some sort of multiple personality thing going on, maybe?
Yeah, I'm just indecisive. Yeah, and then eventually I play some games.
Fair enough. So you've played some then? Yeah.
I have played.
Okay,
I played 3 games.
I've played loads. It's been a fortnight and I've been off work for one of those weeks as well. So I basically gamed myself sick.
I've been off work, which is the reason why I played 3 games.
Oh, right. Okay. So I'm going to start taking much more holidays off work just to prep for the show. Yes. So, oh gosh, I'm going to go through the static group roundup though, because we haven't talked about any of that stuff for a while.
Okay.
So, Monday's is Path of Exile still. We finished it, sort of, I think, maybe. We killed a lot of gods, and then we killed another god that apparently was a god that was created when we killed the first god back at Act 3 or 5, and accidentally let out the other god with the horns.
How do the gods feel about that?
I don't know. Well, they don't, because they're all dead.
Oh, good point.
Yes, God is dead. Yes.
If you're going... It's not really atheism if you go around killing the gods,
well, no, because you clearly believe in them, and they are extremely potent. I have absolutely full belief in their powers, because they're using them to pound me into the ground and then do this big wave blood attack that has massive damage.
Well, they're not that godlike, you're beating them.
So, well, quite. I'm obviously more powerful than God. What is it when you believe in gods but consider yourself far more powerful than God?
It's a Zeus complex.
So some sort of complex, yeah. I think into some kind of narcissism. Or, yeah, so anyway. So knotty theological problems aside, yeah, we've got to the end of Act 10, I think, so which I think makes the end of the story as currently exists. Lots of... I mean, the whole Acts 5 through 10 were basically you going back to all the places you visited in Acts 1 through 4 and killing everything again, yeah. Because you do something at the end of... Oh, spoiler alert. You do something at the end of Act 5 that unleashes... I think you kill God, and then there's a different God who's even worse, and then you spend the next 5 acts killing a load of other minor gods in order to get a run-up and a big smack in the face on this big god that you let out.
Is this, by any chance,
yes.
And this is just a stab in the dark, an excuse to reuse all the levels?
Yeah, a bit. Well, they've been changed, and it is interesting, and presumably if you're invested and care about the world quite...
And do you?
Considerably. Oh, of course I do, yes. Yeah. Yes, I care. It's interesting seeing the places all messed up even further as a consequence of your heroic actions, you know. I mean, heroes destroy everything in the end, is what I've learnt. Yeah. It's a valuable lesson. So we got to the end of... there was just a horrific boss fight. I've really enjoyed the game. So basically I'm the Marauder, which is the warrior class, strength, stats, all the red gems and everything. And I came across one skill which basically, when you hit them, when you kill them, they come back to life and act as a minion for you for about 30 seconds.
Excellent.
Yeah, so basically warrior becomes a minion master. Now, you've got these support gems. You can link them together in linked slots in the same piece of equipment. And if you put various different other support gems in, those abilities apply to that initial first ability. There's quite an elaborate amount of theory crafting going into it. Dr. Torag understands it all and is our mentor and guide.
He has medical training there.
Well, quite. And if you link the there's a melee splash support gem you can link to the dominating blow gem, which means that you do AoE hits, and everything you kill when you hit AoE comes back to life as a minion as well.
Oh.
And then you can add minion duration support, which means they last longer, and you can add life stealing. So I don't know if the minions gain the life stealing as well, but certainly when you hit stuff. So basically I've got a really sort of cheesy combo of gems which makes me capable of having about 30 minions on the screen at any one time, which is rather confusing for everyone, including me, I have to say. Just they've got these white symbols over their heads.
Do they sort of know what they're doing?
Yeah, they just run around killing everything.
Oh,
and it works up to yellow grade bosses as well, and those are the ones that do AoE auras and buff whole groups of monsters, and then I take them over and they'd start buffing all of us. And so every so often we'll be zerging our way through, and then I'll accidentally kill a lieutenant boss who does AoE speed boosting to everyone on our side, and all the minions start going crazy. We start running around not being able to click through doorways because we're moving too quickly. Hilarity ensues. And meanwhile, you've got Dr. Torag, who's basically specialised in summoning all sorts of elemental golems and stuff, but also he's got this fantastic sort of scorching ray beam attack, and then he's like spinning around as a lighthouse with this big sweeping ray of thing. And Multi's got like bow skills that fire 50, 60 arrows at once in a big fan, and each of them fires about another 10 arrows, and each of those
You're going to
arrows...
spend the first 10 minutes of a fight stringing your bow.
It's just, yeah, I know. You want a belt-fed bow, really, I think. But yeah, and all of those arrows fragment into smaller bits, and each of those bits does poison damage, and it's just crazy on screen. It's got that, it has that sort of, I find myself just giggling insanely a lot of the time while playing it, because there's just so much insanity going on screen at any given time. It's hilarious. I love it. It really reminds me of full Team City of Heroes Mayhem, which had a similar kind of consistency to it. And then we'll come across some plot relevant major boss, and that turns into, and that just, it's like, dropping a sleeper onto the, dropping concrete blocks onto the railway track of my enjoyment. You just slam into this thing. There's a dance, there's a gimmick, there's a combo. They do 3 stages. They bring in ads at this point. You've got to dodge all this stupid things all over the floor. I get insta killed running to the boss a lot, and you just restart at checkpoint, which puts you back at the boss arena's doorway entrance, and you just run in again. And so we just keep going and zerging over and over and over, coming out of it feeling, having beaten it, because we have infinite lives and the enemy doesn't, and it doesn't regenerate between goes either. So you're going to kill it eventually, but it's no fun, and you just come out of the whole thing feeling rather dirty and just unsatisfied by the whole experience. So, and then we get back into killing yard trash on the main levels again, which is the bit I like. So yes, it's an up and down experience for me, that game. I don't like the bosses. I like the normal day-to-day play. There you go. But, it's a computer game, so you've got to have bosses. Yeah. Why?
Because.
All right. Anyway,
only one of the games I'm talking about has bosses.
Why do you need bosses? Perhaps now's not the time to go into that lengthy topic show, but I mean, yeah, we've done.
Maybe that could be 200.
We've done two
big discussion on why we need bosses.
We've done all the way up to the end of Act 10. Apparently, there's a big countdown logging. When you log in, there's a countdown clock on the login screen that I think expires in about 5 days' time. So obviously, there's some big content patch coming. It's another huge update for free.
Are you sure that's not the countdown clock to the countdown clock resetting?
It could be. I don't know. I'm extremely curious to see what happens when it runs out. Yeah, but now we've moved on to this Atlas of Worlds type concept. There's this sort of post-end game thing. So we've killed a great many gods and left the world in more or less the same kind of state as when we found it. Which,
just a bit godless.
It's all you can ask for.
De-godded.
Really. No, I think a couple of the gods or angels or something survive and sort of wander off. Sequel hook. I don't know. I can't quite remember what that was about, to be honest. I was just drained from the boss fight. But now we have this map device and another NPC who has given us a whole load of these fragments of bits of map, and basically you can make maps. We haven't done this yet. We sort of stopped before we got started on it. But apparently there's a whole sort of post-end game rinse and repeat pseudo raiding, I suppose, thing where you build map fragments and you use them in a special device, and it teleports you to random worlds based on those map fragments, parts and so on. And there's this huge atlas you fill in block at a time as you go through. I don't no idea what that's like, but it has the feel of a kind of make busy rinse and repeat, keep players
occupied.
Is it by
any chance a randomly generated level system?
Well, I mean, the whole game is a randomly generated level system. Okay. No 2 visits to the same map are going to be like... I mean, they persist for about 8 minutes until after you left them, and when you go back, it will have repopulated, and it'll have the same tile set, but it won't be exactly the same map.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
So each playthrough of the game, the maps are slightly different, but they have the same vegetation and same same objectives and so on. So yeah, we're still going on there. I don't know. I'd be quite content with what we've done so far, but I want to have a look at this Atlas of Worlds map thing, and I guess the expansion thing will be along soon enough for us to be still playing while that happens. So there might be more there, or there might be something else on the Mondays. I don't know, but I'm still going there anyway. So yeah, do you want to talk about something?
Do you remember a couple of years ago we went along to Resd?
Oh wow, that was a long time ago.
The last one we went to with the stupid guy with the hammer, or was it the axe? Anyway. The game we saw there was Event Zero.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Which is basically a text adventure. It's a 3D text adventure.
But you sort of type it in on a console in game.
You're walking around a space station, and you're just using the mouse to move. So it's left button to go forwards, right button to go back, mouse to pick your direction, of course, by looking around.
Yep.
And then everything on the keyboard goes into, if you're close enough, to the nearest terminal.
Right.
So you sort of stand near a terminal, start typing, and it goes on the screen.
Okay.
And basically what's happened is you're on a mission to Saturn, I think it was. Pretty relevant where you were going, when your mission went wrong. And
They never do go right.
and
do
you
they?
end up being picked up and rescued, or ending up on a prototype spaceship which went missing in the 80s. This is an alternate reality where it's set in the future, but there's been space travel for many, many, many years.
Okay.
So in the 80s, there's this sort of hippie commune type thing, which went off in a spaceship and went missing.
Sounds cool.
With a special drive that meant it could travel around, but it was a massive failure. And you get picked up on this, and the only thing alive on it is the ship's AI.
Okay.
And so you have to follow along with what's going on by typing into basically command lines on various machines.
I'm already intrigued.
And trying to get the information you want out of the UI through natural language, and maybe running the odd commands and doing things, or maybe poking some memory addresses if you feel like it.
Okay.
Reading logs, that's a mainstay of things. And then you'll have to go off and do something in the real world, like find something or wander around.
Post-it notes with passwords on, that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, there are post-it notes. Or put a bit of information to a specific console, which
Okay.
or go out for a spacewalk, that kind of thing. And then at the end, there's several different endings.
Okay.
Now, the only I got was the one that, if I was to tell you which it was, you'd say, oh, yeah, that's the one you're going to get. Because it's the same one you're going to get when you play.
Well, okay, yeah. It sounds hugely spoilerific, so...
It actually comes back to something you didn't like about another game, but yeah.
I already know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't do what I said that you should do.
Yeah.
And I got this particular ending, so I reckon you're going to get the same ending.
Okay.
It's
quite predictable.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just one way of getting one ending. And it's a really interesting game. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fantastic. It's of that genre of indie game, which I've decided to dub the "What can we do to avoid animating people?" Everyone's gone to the Rapture.
There are two sorts of games. One game has some really bad Skyrim facial animations in. The other games have no people in whatsoever.
Goes out of their way. They've all been taken up on the Rapture. Everyone on the space station's dead. All of these things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people are hard.
People are hard. So we're going to have you walk around a
so you're going to
Scottish island for the next
You're
hour.
going to be a disembodied viewpoint on who is the only survivor in a location X. Yes.
People are hard.
And then
Rolling hills are easy.
Then it naturally follows that the whole point of the game is to work out why there are no people around.
Yeah.
But we've just explained it. So there you go. There are no people left because people are difficult to animate.
Yeah.
As evidenced by X Rebirth, indeed. There's some awful, awful people in that.
It did,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a really interesting little game. I really, really enjoyed it.
It does sound fun. It sounds
It
like
only
you've
took a couple of hours to play, and I did. There's one puzzle where you have to find something in zero gravity, and it's really, really annoying because I spent most of the time wondering, have I knocked it out the open window?
Boomf, gone, yeah.
Because everything else went out the window.
In 32,000 years, that will pass Alpha Centauri, yeah.
Or in however long it's going to crash into Mars, as
right.
Tesla are trying.
Okay.
You didn't see that, did you?
No.
They're launching a car into space.
Why not?
Because they can.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this game is really it is good. If you like
Sounds
text
fascinating.
adventures,
Well, I haven't
if you
played
don't
one
like
in a very long time, so
if
I
you don't
know.
like puzzly text adventure type games, you're going to despise this game with a passion.
Well,
But
Yeah.
since I know you do, I think you're going to really like this game.
I'll have to, give it a go. So,
And I can't
sounds
really,
interesting.
I can't really spoil the ending that I saw. I need to play. I think there's 3 official endings and 1 apparently accidental ending, which was a bug.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. It looks good. It's very short. There's not too much to do in it. You could probably plow through it in an hour if you tried and knew exactly what you were doing.
Yeah.
And what information to take to where. It does a really nice thing as well. There's 5 or 6 bits of really important information in the game, like numbers and command lines and things like that.
Yeah.
Passcodes. And at the top right of the screen, it just puts them up there. And so they're always on your screen. So whenever you get a vitally important bit of information, it's up on your screen so you know where it is. You don't have to write it down on a bit of paper.
Oh, that's no fun. Scraps of weird paper
But-
you come across 2 years later. What was
But
that?
there's other things in there
Yeah.
which
So it
are
doesn't write down.
optional things which you can still write down.
So it works on at least 2 levels.
Yeah. So it's very hard to get incredibly stuck. There's only one place I think where you could get incredibly stuck,
Yeah.
where it's not obvious. And this is the bit which actually has a timer as well. You have to complete your task before.
Oh, I don't like timers.
Yeah, you're basically doing a spacewalk.
Yeah. Oh,
and you
yeah.
have to
Naturally,
you have to get back before your oxygen runs out. But
Yeah.
you go back in, repressurize the airlock, go out again, and you're fine.
Oh, okay.
But there's just this artificial time thing, and I took long enough to figure out the puzzle that I ran out of oxygen. I'm thinking, yeah, now I'm annoyed by this because I've got to go all the way back and get more oxygen and come back and finish this.
All right.
So I don't think they really needed that. I don't think it needed the pressure of.
Yeah, it seems an odd. It's just arbitrary timer on one particular puzzle. Seems
Yeah,
an odd inclusion.
yeah, it gets hidden away behind an oxygen level, but it's just an arbitrary timer.
Oh,
So yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. It looks good. The sound of typing is satisfying. And something games which do better key presses than my keyboard I like, because I don't like having a mechanical keyboard because I like to be able to type in a house with other people. I can't. And there is a level of hell awaiting people who use mechanical keyboards in offices.
yeah.
Generally, one that's just had a can of Coke poured over it. There's nothing more annoying than just someone clacking away from 100 foot down the end of the office. Yeah, really annoying. But this game is good.
Okay.
I recommend you play it.
Excellent. I still haven't played that other thing you.
No, you haven't.
said
You should play that too.
Yeah. Was it stories
Untold.
like us, something like that? Yeah.
Well, it's like us, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Tuesdays, we're still playing Elite Dangerous.
Huzzah.
Quite regularly. Yeah. We did some community goals involving smuggling rare commodities from two ends of the galaxy to each other, which was quite a quiet week. But yeah, we're just generally chipping away at the CGs as they occur and that kind of thing. I'm getting quite good at the whole smuggling thing now.
Yeah.
I'm getting very, very sort of casual about it. Well, the Diamondback Explorer's got a very low heat profile anyway, and that means you can hit the silent running thing, which means it shuts all the heat vents, which means you basically cook yourself in under in certain amount of minutes if you don't get in there. So you fly in and basically traffic control suddenly lose track of you at that point, can't scan you. So that's all quite good. Yeah.
So the silent running thing isn't blowing up all of the.
Yeah, there's a silent running button which detonates nuclear charges in all the hydroponic bays at the back. Yes, no, not that. But yeah, we found that big list, that big spreadsheet that's maintained by the community. You'd have to Google for it, but it's a big old list of interesting things to see out there. Like that big outpost that we were wedging that anaconda under the archway of the other time.
That was fantastic footage when I came to edit the show.
You should have been there. It was crazy. We just lost our minds that evening. We were also trying to see how high we could lift an SRV into space. That was good. So yeah. I mean, I don't know about long-term goals. I've sort of picked out a bit of an upgrade goal. I think I've decided because for a really long time I'd just lost interest in upgrading because the Diamondback Explorer was fantastic. It was all I needed. Relatively cheap rebuy, very long-range jumping. But now I've decided, whatever. Let's get a Python. So I've got Python now, which is quite a leap up. I've gone from about a sort of, 1 or 2 million ship to 53 million. The rebuy's about a couple of 100,000 now.
Oh, was it? Okay, I thought it was on that.
Oh yeah, I think about 1 million or 2 perhaps. It's mostly D grade equipment in there, but we've unlocked so many engineers now that we can actually start. I can start, just chipping away towards. Basically, I've given myself a goal progression. You know, I've got this shell, which is the Python hull, and it's full of rubbish equipment. I'm going to start buying all the bits and pieces because the equipment that goes in it is quite expensive.
That's the main cost on these ships.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You start putting the really nice stuff in, and it goes up.
53 million. Okay, I can buy that. Yeah, I mean, it did help that we looked up. So with this power play thing, there's about 10, 12 different galactic factions all vying for territorial control in there, and you can get involved in all that. One of the power play people, when they control systems, lowers the prices of ships by about 15%. So we did some extensive research, and I went and got myself a load of money off, and that 15% off.
Did you have to fly to a very, very remote station?
No, it was only about 20 light years from where we were when we started looking, but that was good. But this 15% off means that, because your rebuy is based on the price of the ship, what you paid for your ship.
Yeah.
Now, if I paid 15% less, my rebuy is also 15%
Oh,
less
okay.
forever whenever I get this ship.
That's
running.
nice.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth hunting around for that. I mean,
Remember, kids, buy your spaceships in sales.
yes, look for the sales. I mean, I think there's this Shinrata Desra system where you can only go if you've got an elite ranking.
Okay.
And I think everything in there is 10% off.
Doesn't matter
like
which elite ranking.
No, either of the three.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's a special, some kind of special officers club for the game, basically. And there's a Jameson Memorial Station, Commander Jameson, of course. And you go there, and I think all the gear's much cheaper there, 10% across the board. But the problem with
Do I still have to be elite?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I don't think you can go there.
Oh.
No, I don't even think founders get there for free. I don't know. Maybe.
I kickstarted the game for nothing.
You got a space station named after you.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we saw that time. That was awesome. But yeah, so I've got this new ship. I've got new goals. So I'm going to try and get it totally tricked out and all the engineers and stuff. Got quite a lot of the engineers on lock now. A couple of them still need a lot more combat bonds and stuff. There's one that needs the modular terminals. This is a special commodity that you only get given as equipment, as item reward for missioning.
Oh, that'd be a pain then.
He wants 25 of those before he'll start doing stuff. But pretty much most of the systems on board the ship I could now get engineered up. And it becomes more a question of just hunting down the materials, remembering to scoop bits of iron from wreckage and so on, vanadium, or do wake scans on particular types of craft to build up their list of sort of shopping list of materials to get all the different pieces of equipment upgraded. I get a bit nervous with the engineer upgrades.
Yeah.
The rank 5 stuff, you can sort of just about work out the stat you want to improve, but I've no idea what half the stats that then get downgraded as a result. I mean,
yeah.
So I think my ship's largely very high performance, but made of tinfoil usually. Integrity, I don't need that. What's that do even? Yeah,
You've never needed integrity.
Well, the thing is, my thing I need in the ships most, I think, is long-distance jumping. And the Python does about just under 30 light years with my A-grade frameshift drive with full engineering on it. I could probably do a few more dice rolls on the engineering to get it slightly better. But beyond that, I need to start doing crazy stuff like taking out the bulkheads or using a power plant that's only like 8 sizes smaller or whatever just because it's lighter, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's all about lowering the mass of the ship. But then, of course, it needs to still be able to do combat. So I'm trying to go for these sort of all-rounder path. But the engineering, I think, is useful because it lets you compensate for designed-in weaknesses of particular types of ship.
Yeah.
So you can bring most ships up to a kind of highly competent all-rounder type of thing with the engineering if you know what you're doing with choosing the stats and get lucky dice rolls and stuff. But it's great. I've done passenger missions for the first time.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're not that exciting, to be honest.
You just pick up a passenger, go somewhere.
You pick up a passenger, you go somewhere.
Try not to do one thing.
Well, you've got two sorts of passengers, I think. You got the normal passengers who you just shovel in the back in a forklift truck, EasyJet style, and they just want to go to a place, and you drop them off, and that's job done. But then you got these little crowns on the passengers, who are special passengers, and they want to be taken to specific tourist destinations, like thousands of light years away, and they've got a list of requirements like I don't want to be scanned, or I'm going to pay you a lot less money if you land upside down again, that kind of thing. And they get quite finicky. So that's a bit more advanced type of gameplay. But yeah, I'm definitely running the budget airlines of space at the moment. I get 64 passengers on board my thing and still have room for 64 tons of cargo. I could probably put more passenger stuff in as well. So it's a Python's a big ship. I mean, it's difficult to get a conception of how big and small they are in relation to each other, particularly if you're an original Elite player, because they all look the same. In Elite. They're all roughly the same size and slightly different shapes. But, I mean, just sort of seeing them up against each other, or seeing little ships. I need a medium landing pad now. Yeah,
wow.
Go me.
Is that annoying?
Yeah, no, here and there. Some of the little dinky outposts only got small pads, so you can't use those. But it's the large pads is the problem. So things like the Anaconda and your Corvettes and stuff, you start to find yourself really limited about where you can actually land. But going on, that's sort of revitalised my interest in it all a bit now, because obviously I've got this ship I want to make perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I expect once I've got A-graded everything with decent mods in that, I'll probably lose interest again a bit. But no, it's good to have a sort of something to chip away.
They may have added more content by then.
Well, we're always sort of earning money because we do a lot of the CGs and we do the occasional bit of just cargoes and whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we or combat belt bonds or whatever. So I think there was talk of a Viper night. Well, we did the Imperial Eagle Squadron doing combat stuff. That went well. It was a lot of fun. But you just even with 4 Eagles working together on individual targets, you are quite slowly limited in terms of we don't do it for the money, let's put it that way.
Yes.
But the Viper Mark 3 or 2, whichever, probably would be somewhat harder hitting, so but it's still on the low end and the cheap replaceable fighter end, so perhaps we'll try that. But it's just good to have more goals to work towards, and I'm still interested in looking for all these interesting places like these out of the way outposts on planets, or these the sort of space structures with tunnels through them that they use for the close quarter combat stuff. Some of those exist in the game as well, so try and wedge an Anaconda in one, see what happens. So yeah, still chipping away. I mean, I'm sort of vaguely ambivalent towards their own plans and their own story and stuff. As I understand it, they've sort of gone off of the Horizons model for content patching and stuff. I don't think they well, they're obviously not able to keep up with the schedule on that. The regular releases of content. So I guess they've dropped to a more of when it's done capacity. And I don't know what that means
how they
for
are
billing,
planning on spider there coming down to the shot. Anyway,
yeah.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what funding model they come up with.
Well, I mean, they get by selling a lot of skins and stuff. I see have you seen the Raider kits? A lot of the different ships in there, you can buy Raider kits, so it's basically essentially just spikes and Mad Max plating that goes on top of it all and stuff like that. I mean, I bought an occasional paint scheme and engine trail colouring too, so I don't know, they get by with that. I mean, Elite, and it's not a free-to-play game. You buy it, and you buy Horizons as well for the planetary landing stuff, and then you get all the other bits with it.
Yeah, but I sort of got the idea they were going to be charging once a year.
Well, I don't know about yearly. I think they've sort of gone with a more flexible approach, which makes more sense, to be honest. But they're going to have to draw a line and then start charging for more stuff at some point. That's just the way the business works, I suppose. But I suppose atmospheric planets might be something to look out for.
They've been talking about that.
Well, because they got this big Jurassic World game they're developing. Some Jurassic virtual reality thing, Jurassic Park dinosaurs, whatever. And we were chatting and using the technology they developed for that will probably make it into Elite Dangerous.
Undoubtedly.
Planetary landing stuff for atmospheric.
That's why there's an entire roller coaster designing bit.
Well, exactly. Yes. I mean, I'm not quite sure where that goes, but yes, I imagine pretty much every planet with an atmosphere that you land on Elite Dangerous will be covered in dinosaurs.
Yeah,
they will just eat your spaceship. So that's something to watch out for.
It's going to be a bit like a more interesting.
It's coming into land and suddenly wham, T-Rex through the front.
Whatever it's called. Something Skies, whatever.
No Man's Sky.
That's the one.
I saw that on sale. I almost went for it, but I thought no.
How much?
£15.
Wait a bit longer.
Yeah. I think six quid. I think probably.
Yeah, you're lucky at £6.
Fair enough. I have very specific divisions. Yeah. But anyway, so still going with Elite Dangerous. Yeah. We're all getting quite good with our ships. We're trying crazy stuff, seeing interesting things. It's good.
Cool.
How did?
I picked up in Black Friday deals.
Oh yeah.
A quite cheap subscription to EA Play, which is the subscription thing for EA, which for
I can't help feeling you're letting the side down in some vague fashion.
No, this is a sub-model.
EA are evil, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. But this got me Mass Effect Andromeda for 17 quid.
Couldn't you have just bought Mass Effect Andromeda for like 30 quid and not given them all your marketing details?
But it also gave me lots of other games for that 17 quid as well.
Fair enough.
And so one of these games it gave me, there's some quite interesting ones. There's Battlefield 1, the one that wasn't the first one.
The First World War one?
Yeah, I've got that to play and some other things. But one of the things that I downloaded was Need for Speed, the 2015 version.
2015.
Now, I played most Need for Speed games up until the point where I just thought, I can't be asked. Every single Need for Speed game tries to reinvent the game.
It's just a racing thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you say that.
Chasing another car, two-player head-to-head.
They can't have a new fancy way of racing cars.
Well, backwards.
Now this
You're only allowed to wear boxing gloves?
Yeah. Actually, not a bad idea. Now, this one is a really gorgeous looking one where street racing.
Okay.
On the streets.
Yeah.
And live action video cutscenes.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
The 90s called. They want their CD-ROMs back.
The 90s called and they want to have words about the quality of acting in this game.
Oh, God.
It is atrocious. It is hilariously
I miss those
bad.
days, though. You remember Privateer 2?
Yeah.
Wow. There was a whole movie in there involving Clive Owen and Jurgen Prochnow and stuff, and it bore almost no relation whatsoever to anything you did in your spaceship.
No, they never do. Yeah, this is exactly the same. You're basically...
You race a bit and then watch some of a film.
You start off, you're driving along, there's a police chase, and then you meet these people. And there is this idiot guy, trust fund kid with hat on backwards. And,
right.
Is he you? No, he's the guy you're talking to. And he takes you along to meet his friends. You buy a new car. You get a bit of garage space. You meet the attractive dungaree-wearing, cliche-ridden mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
And it's awful. No one can act. And by no one can act,
Does
I mean
it,
no one can act.
Is the third act reversal that you're an FBI agent undercover?
I don't know.
okay.
I haven't got that far yet. Although the racing's quite fun, but the plot keeps making me not want to play.
Mash X to skip to more racing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mash X to get past this excruciating cutscene that makes the school play look good.
Oh, is there is some kind soul put them all on YouTube back to back?
I doubt it.
Oh, you should be that kind soul.
I doubt anyone cares that much.
For people who don't like racing and just want to watch badly acted chase movie stuff.
I need to watch the film, actually. There's a Need for Speed film.
Have you not seen it?
No.
I thought you were a huge fan of it. Oh, I think you're Fast and Furious. Is that something?
No, I like
similar?
Fast and Furious.
Right.
Yeah, no, I need to watch the Need for Speed film, which has got the guy from...
Has Need for Speed started as a video game, or was
Yeah.
that a film to begin
No, it
with?
started as a video game.
Oh, right, okay.
Back
Fast
way,
and
way,
Furious
way.
was a film first.
Yeah.
I get very confused.
Yes. I know.
Generally.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a film version which was atrocious. And I suspect the acting is better.
It's probably is that those cutscenes.
No.
Probably just ripped directly.
It's different people. It's named actors in that one, like the guy from Breaking Bad, and I'm sure there's someone else.
Good.
But in the game, I've got no clue about any of these people, and I really never want to see them again in any professional acting role ever.
Right.
Because it's terrible.
FMV cutscenes.
I know, it's so
bless.
cute and quaint, and I don't know what's worse, the fact that they're in there, or the download wasn't that big.
Oh, some very, very, very bad compression going on there.
No, it does look okay. It's shot competently. But when you actually do the
Are we talking sort of podcast grade, or actually with lights, or some sort of director bloke on a chair?
I'm sure that somebody was directing,
Okay.
and I'm sure they had lights.
So it wasn't just improv then.
No. Imagine if we decided to do live action cutscenes for a game.
We are available.
We are available, and we will do better than EA. I promise we can do better than EA.
I've always wanted to do video game voice acting. It's my big bucket list.
Oh, you will. Yeah. I should mention gameplay, really, shouldn't I?
Yes, tell us about the gameplay.
It's a driving game.
It's a driving game, right?
I don't like it. You
earn money to buy cars.
Yeah, you earn points to buy cars and buy
drive over
upgrades to your
power-ups
cars.
to fire tortoise shells
There's
at the
no
car.
power-ups,
Okay.
but when you do a skid, it's a bit too exaggeratedly arcadey, and you end up sideways too. I don't like it.
It's not a
doesn't
technical
feel,
race.
It doesn't feel right.
You can't adjust your suspension.
It doesn't
tuning.
feel right, and I find it hard to follow the map when I'm going full speed because of the lines on the ground. When it's at night and really, really reflected neon everywhere, it's really, really annoying.
Does it do that blurring thing around the edges of the screen to show you that you're going fast?
I haven't noticed, but let's say yes. Because it's the sort of thing they probably would do.
Fair enough. Sounds really cheesy.
It is very. It is all the cheese. It is a fine English cheddar which has been matured in a cave for 10 years worth of cheese.
Right. Not a pile of individually wrapped American cheese slices.
Oh no, it's nothing that amateurish.
Right.
It is a proper amount of
It's a
well-honed
good quality cheese.
Yeah,
With a blue vein through it.
it's not accidental cheese. A lot of effort has
This milk's
gone
gone
into
bad.
the cheesing. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Good.
Yes, terrible.
So for
Don't play it.
whatever. Okay, good. All right. I'm going to talk about Wednesdays. No, I don't do Wednesdays. Thursdays. No, I don't do Thursdays now.
No.
No.
What do you do Thursdays?
I just play games anyway. Single player games, which I've talked about on other shows. Fridays we do Pathfinder, but this week we had a week off because of non-attendances and things, planned non-attendance. So this week I was playing Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yes,
Oh,
a
wow.
100-player Battle Royale experience.
How did you get on with that? Because that sounds like your kind of thing. What were you, 98,
Oh,
99?
Oh, yeah, I was in the sort of low 90s. Yeah. Oh, God. So, I mean, very many viewers, but not me, are probably aware of PUBG.
Yes.
Yes, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which apparently is bigger than, like, the Beatles.
It
at
is,
the moment, and is the Warcraft killer, I think, according to various studies. Strange.
No. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think Dave's...
Do you know what Warcraft Killer was? Every other game since Warcraft.
Yeah, Dave's put a chart in Slack that showed concurrent players and stuff, and it's slowing down now, but it's slowing down at about 3 million concurrent players.
It hit China.
Yeah, it's astonishing, and
you can now legally play it in China as well.
So PUBG, yeah, you buy it. It's a buy to play, with cash shop consumable cosmetics, and yeah, it's essentially the format is 100 of you jump out of a plane that goes over an island, and you'll skydive to different parts of it, and then you have to try and kill everyone else.
Yes.
The basic premise, there's not even like some ideological struggle, there's no philosophical concept involved there, you're not fighting for power or victory or freedom, you're just trying to kill everyone else to be the best.
Yeah.
It's a bit sociopathic, I think.
It is, yeah.
Anyway, so you end up on this island. The island's got like trees and buildings and hills and stuff, and there's all sorts of power-ups and weapons and things, and you frantically scavenge some of that stuff, then try and kill everyone around you.
Yeah.
Unless you are the careful and considered sort of player who likes to hide in the undergrowth and wait for everyone else to pick each other off, there's a new added twist, which I think is the PUBG unique special sauce, in that the map, there's a circle on the map which over time shrinks.
Yeah.
And you have to be inside the circle or it kills you.
Yeah.
So that really sort of blows out the water any kind of camping sniper type gameplay. My preferred.
It is
style.
designed to be annoying to you.
Yes, specifically me. Anyways, and then eventually you're in a circle that's like 3 feet across, all trying to punch each other with the pistols, all Reservoir Dogs styley or whatever. I don't know, I've never seen the end of one of these Fortnite maps. Anyway, so Fortnite is when Epic Games, who are famous for the Unreal stuffs, Unreal Tournament and what have you, they're busy working on some co-op zombie survival thing with building, and then thought, that PUBG thing's quite popular. So over the course of a weekend, they wrote a mod for their own in-progress game, which offers you a free-to-play. This is their big selling point. It's free to play. You don't have to pay anything. 100 players all jump out of a bus under a hot air balloon that flies across an island, and you land and grab guns and try and kill everyone else as well. Yeah, it sounds simple, and it very much is. It's very simple. And so we had a go at that on Friday. I mean, a couple of the other chaps who don't do Pathfinder on the Fridays have been doing little teams of this. Yeah. You can do it solo or duo or in squads of 4. But yes, I don't know what happens if. Yeah, I think if there's just the 4 of you on your team left, you also win, so you don't have to kill your teamates in a bloody betrayal, backstab type scenario at the end.
Takes all the fun out of it.
Well, there it is. And you basically, that's it. But Fortnite's unique selling point, because it's not actually a 100-player Battle Royale game at all, it's some in-progress early access zombie survival game with building elements. Yeah. In Fortnite, you can build stuff.
I like the building in Fortnite.
I don't like the building in Fortnite. It's absolutely, it probably makes a lot of sense in terms of the co-op pay for early access PvE 4 players surviving and save the world thing. Probably makes a lot of sense.
It's a nice slow thing.
Well, the basic game of Fortnite, you 4 of you on your team build a massive, go out, scavenge for resources, wood, bricks, and metal, and build a big fort, and then you have to defend it through the night. Fortnite. But when applied to a 100-player Battle Royale game, as in a sort of hasty mod to capture popular attention, the building just is an utter waste of time.
Would it be safe to say that the quickest way to advertise your location is to build a building?
It's to throw up a massive wood fort, yes. Yeah. Oh, there's someone over there. Well, the island's got various sort of, little farmhouses and factories and little town centres and things all across it anyway, of natural buildings which work with the scenery and the terrain. But yeah, the buildings you throw up yourself are a very sort of rectilinear grid, because it's not nearly as sophisticated as Minecraft, to be honest.
No, it's basically putting down.
Yeah, you've got slab walls. You've got a slab that will be a roof or floor. You've got a roof piece, and then I think there's a ramp as well. And so those 4 pieces, and you can make them out of wood, bricks, or metal. And you can play this game a number of different ways, and I tried. I think I was a bit of a detriment to my team in the end, so I spent quite a lot of Friday soloing whilst allowing other people to have my slot, because I'm quite gracious like that. But anyway, the idea is that so you'll jump out the plane. Now, the initial strategy is, where do you jump out the plane and where do you skydive to? And you can see everyone else jumping out and think, oh God, so if there's anyone else in sight as you come down, forget the building. Yeah. Get to the nearest building, look for the nearest gun that's like just standing there in a glowing aura, grab that and then just try and shoot them. If you can't find anyone, just have a go at it with the pickaxe. You start with the pickaxe and no weapons. Whoever finds a gun first will win, because a pickaxe is stupid and not very good against a shotgun.
No.
And in my experience, whoever sees me wins.
Yeah.
So okay. So you got land where people are, in which case I'll just get killed straight away because they found a shotgun and killed me. Or you got land where there's no people, in which case you can sit and hide for up to 20 minutes before someone kills you. Or the circle contracts and you get killed. Because if the circle contracts, you have to run towards the new circle, and the circle doesn't. It's slightly randomised. It's not always on the centre of the island. It can move to where the centre
to make
will
sure
be.
that people just aren't all camping in the centre.
Yeah, exactly.
Last 5 minutes, everyone stands up, and it's just all in the same.
I think one game I lasted about 20 minutes until the circle forced me to move, and then someone saw me and killed me. So it's got that utterly horrific, slam into a brick wall newbie learning curve that I met at the beginning of my time in PlanetSide as well. But in PlanetSide and PlanetSide 2, at least nominally a third of the people, if not are on your side, then are at least being penalised for shooting at you.
Yeah.
So no, there's no such thing. I mean, obviously, if you're in a team of 4, there's 3 people on that map who are trying not to kill you, which is nice. But
It doesn't really help the odds.
no. In general, it's such an aggressively hostile experience that I found myself getting really. The despair set in very early, I have to say. I actually shot at a few people. I think some of the video I took for this, I accidentally killed someone. But
wow.
Yeah, I've killed one person. I played about sort of 15 games or so, and I've killed one person. So I am terrible.
You are.
Now this sort of brings in the difficult distinction in any kind of attempt to be some sort of critic, which we are some sorts of critic. The difference between a bad game and I don't like this game.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't like this game. I hate it. It's terrible. I have a really, really miserable time for like a couple of hours, and in the end I had to just I was doing a really bad job of biting my tongue as well on Mumble, on voice chat, trying not to be.
Guys, you knew he wasn't going to like this game.
I know. I felt like I was being set up a bit, but I gave it a go. I knew I wasn't going to like it, and I was proven right. But so that's fine. I mean, most Fridays I'm GMing a Pathfinder game anyway, so I'm probably not going to have the opportunity to play much. But well, for start, okay. So there is the I don't like this game. I hate it. It's terrible. It really gets to me that just the sheer aggression, because you start the map, you push join, and you're in the lobby, and then you end up on an airfield, standing around while it fills up. Presumably while it fills up, 100 players.
Being on chatting.
Yeah, you're standing there. There's a load of other. No, you can't chat to anyone. No one can chat to you. It's just as well, because that will really put the tin out on it. A bunch of smack talk coming in from all these people. But no, you're not allowed to actually talk to anyone, because that would really sort of allow you to. Anyway, calm thoughts. Yeah, so you're standing on this playing field, this airstrip with the bus there and the hot air balloon above it, and you're waiting for it actually to start. And during that time, there's loads of people standing around, and they're standing around with pickaxes, and there's two sorts of people who are just standing around waiting to start, as you do.
Yeah.
And there's people who are running around shooting people in the head and swinging pickaxes at them at their heads. You can't do any damage to anyone at this mode while you're waiting, but just the sheer unbridled, I want to kill you all. I don't even know you, and I want to kill you. I want you dead. That kind of. I might just go play a bit of Minecraft, because the building's much better in Minecraft for a start. Anyway, but yeah, you got this. So that's the whole. Yeah, I'm terrible at this game, which means I don't like it. Fair enough. Now the smart thing to do. Yeah, you got two choices in that situation. One is to just go, okay, well I just won't play this anymore. That's fine. Or you can go on all sorts of message boards and podcasts and start really screaming into it and tearing it apart, and and just trying to ruin it for everyone else as well. And I'm not that sort of person. However. I mean, so trying to look at it objectively is difficult, but I do think I think it's it's not a great game. The problems come from so you've got 3 unique things that differentiate. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is, by empirical evidence, by the vast number of people who bought it, played it, and are currently playing it, a huge success.
Yes.
Which means it is a good game.
Yes.
Objectively speaking, a good game on those measurements. I mean, I probably wouldn't like it, and I haven't gone out and bought it because I know what I'm like. That's fine.
It's not for you.
It's not for me.
It's for a vast.
It's for at least 3 million players concurrently at any given peak. So that's well done them. Well, yeah. So what's less admirable, I suppose, is another company going, oh crap, we've missed a trick here. Quick, retool the thing we're working on. Now this marriage of Fortnite.
Retool the thing we're working on, which was sort of trying to cash in on a thing from a couple of years ago.
H1Z1, yeah, exactly. And this is epic. You think the people behind Unreal Tournament and that's
people behind the Unreal Engine, which powers every other game that's
you
out
wouldn't
there.
think they'd need to stoop to these kinds of things. But anyway, maybe they had a B team working on some stuff. Whatever, I don't know. Perhaps that's unkind of me to call it stooping. But but they've just really they badly sort of mashed. It's a retooling of a work in progress that is actually a different game, and that works as well as you'd expect.
Yeah.
So you got okay. They're not charging for it. Well, it's
Fair
all
enough.
early access anyway, and apparently the co-op PvE thing will be free to play once it's launched. But at the moment, you have to pay for early
Yeah.
access, which is a, I don't know, Kickstart thing, whatever. Ranted about that lots anyway. But so, okay, so the second differentiator: cutesy cartoon graphics.
Yeah.
You'll see on the video as I recorded a bit, and it looks very much like Free Realms. Do you remember seeing that?
Yeah.
It looks a lot like EverQuest Landmark. It's got that sort of stylized, cutesy cartoon graphics. And initially, and you're watching some footage of a bloke running around with a pickaxe, punching down trees to make a little wooden castle fort. You think, oh, that's something I could sit my 4-year-old down in front of.
No.
But you really can't, and I shouldn't, and that's why those parents.
That's why you don't have to babysit
Those
anymore.
parenting skills are why I don't have children and I'm not allowed to babysit. But yeah, it tries to come across as this super. It's not even sort of stylized pixel art Minecraft style. It's this sort of very Free Realms. I think it's the nearest graphical thing I could. I can't understand why they've gone with that cutesy cartoon style. Is purely to be a differentiator.
Yeah, well, it made more sense for Fortnite.
Fortnite, it makes more sense. Yeah, I imagine the zombies are quite cute in that.
Yeah.
I've not seen a zombie
But
yet.
you couldn't just go out and make it realistically like
Sort of World of
graphics.
Brown, Dark Souls, whatever. Yeah.
Because that would just be, oh, look, they are really ripping off this other game, which is far more successful.
Oh, they're already ripping off H1Z1
Yeah.
or whatever anyway. Yeah, the art style, I suppose, is an attempt to differentiate. But the worst thing is the building. It is such a red herring. You've got this UI with all pickaxes and how to build a wall and resource counters and a backpack and stuff. And none of that at all is any use. I've seen it used right. So a couple of times when I was killed, when you're killed, you get the privilege of watching the person who killed you go on to win the game, if you like, from behind them. I can't really stomach that for very long. But I've
You're meant to look at that and learn.
Yes. Well, it comes into the whole thing. But what they seem to do, no one I've watched who is successful builds a fort.
No.
A fort is where victims wait to be harvested, essentially. I don't know, some quirk of the defensive, because they've designed it so that these walls are relatively weak, because you don't want to having to try and use shape charges to get people out of concrete bunkers. That cuts into the immediacy of the
When
experience.
it comes down to it, it's a game about mobility.
Yes. So building
And forts do not scream to me mobility.
and on the off chance you've built a fort that can is tough enough and successful enough to defend against marauding players, the circle is going to kill you, because you can't pick it up and move it when it's so
You can
stupid.
put it on tracks.
So stupid to build anything at all. I've seen the construction used successfully in two scenarios. One, getting up cliffs. You just build a load of ramps and off you go. Fair enough. Two, it's instantly deployable cover.
Oh, okay.
You're in a one-on-one doing your stupid bunny hop circling and whatever.
You slap a wall down.
Shotgun. Bam! Yeah, wolf. Well, literally, it goes down instantly and it will stop projectiles instantly. It does an animation of building up as it goes, but from the instant you place it, it's blocking shots and cover. And don't do it with just a wall. Do it with a ramp facing your adversary, because then the ramp blocks shots.
Yeah.
You could get then to run up the ramp and gain tactical superiority because you can fire down on them or use the top of the ramp as cover. And they can't. They have to run all the way across to the other end of the ramp and come up. They have to do a big U-shape.
All of a sudden, that's a much more exciting idea for a game. You're some form of techno-mage thing who can put down walls and things.
Deploying actual riot shields or barricades or whatever, that makes a bit more sense. But the whole fort thing is so stupid because it's not designed for a 100-player battle royale concept at all. And then, of course, I think we're straying back into it's not for me territory rather than it's a bad game.
I'm not sure we ever left.
Perhaps these are all fantastic ideas, and it's a fantastic.
No, the
game.
fort is a stupid idea.
Fort doesn't work with it. I don't know. It's odd. Anyway, but so the game loop cycle. There's no respawning
Okay.
because it's a 100-player battle royale game. You get one life, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I understand that's about the rules, but it really means that the opportunities to learn to play start to get further and further apart.
Yeah,
those
actually.
critical engagements. First, you got to stand around on the airfield. Well, you got to push. I am ready, and then sit in the lobby until it match makes 100. Then you got to stand around in the airfield till it loads up. Then you got on the bus, flying across the top of the zone and choosing where to jump out. Then you got about 10-15 seconds of parachuting to do, and that's the very quickest you're going to get gunned in the head. You'll land immediately killed, and that's a mercy, I find, when it's that quick. But no, then you've got to run around, hide in a field, stand on a hill for a bit, wait for a circle to push you together, and then suddenly someone in the distance hits you with an assault rifle or a sniper rifle, and that's it, game over. It's that whole... I mean, I sort of tolerate PlanetSide 2 and quite enjoy the overall spectacle, because part of it is detached from me. It's not me versus everyone else. It's not my story. It's a war. I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I can participate. I can help. I can whatever. But with PlanetSides and stuff, and a lot of the Call of Duty style and, sort of deathmatch shooters.
The Halos.
The standard form of multiplayer shooter is very quick respawns.
Yeah.
Get back in,
Destiny,
get back in.
All of them is back in the action.
Getting
back in the action is key.
Because the more that precise engagement window where it's that 1 or 2 seconds where it's you and them trying to circle each other with a shotgun, you need as many of those, as often as those, as quickly as possible, so that you can learn and improve. Whereas the game loop in here is so staggered and so much sitting around and waiting in between sudden death from a stranger half a mile away, that you don't get a sense of being able to rapidly start to improve your skills. If I wanted to commit to getting good at this, and I don't know, perhaps I flatter myself to think I even could, but if you wanted to get good at it, you'd have to put a lot more time over a much longer period in than comparable for Halo or PlanetSide 2 or anything like that.
Is that actually a design choice for playtime?
Well, I don't know. It's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of sitting around not shooting. So it's almost like it's setting out to annoy both sorts of player. The sorts of people who like to camp, who like to snipe, who like to build fortifications, they're going to be out of luck because none of that seems to really matter. And the game format itself is encouraging you to go into the middle and have a shotgun fight.
If you happen to have built your castle in the middle, good on you.
Yeah, well, maybe the castle's not that great in the first place. But then there's the sort of player who wants to just immediately have a shotgun fight, and they have to do this bus thing and skydive a lot, and then hunt around what's actually quite an enormous island looking for these other... If you think 100 players, fine, that's sort of typical PlanetSide 2 numbers, but those 100 players will all be working on an objective in one place. You know, two enemies, 2 sides or whatever. Whereas this, you've got hundreds of players scattered around the islands, and the most successful matches I've had are ones where I've just managed to not see anybody when I was skydiving down and then just hide in a shed. And if you hide
with
in a
different
shed,
definitions of success.
If you hide in a shed until the circle kills you, you can quite comfortably get into the top 25. Because essentially any 2 people who land next to each other are going to kill each other, one or the other.
Yeah,
probably both. But one of them will win, one of them will die, and that's
there's no healing, is there?
There are potions.
Okay.
I think that's another vestigial throwback to the zombie survival side of it all. I don't think any of those necessarily helped. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably making a lot of very, very unfavourable first impression judgments, but I've played a lot of these sorts
it's the most popular game on the planet. Well, not that one. The other
not
one.
that one. No, the other one. Although Fortnite's quite popular as well, and of course it's free, so that's a thing. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it, and I'm not sure I'll be back, but I'll give it a go. Yeah. I just don't get the Battle Royale thing. I mean, it's the very worst kind of... I've done my time on Ralosec, and I'm not going to bore you all with another anecdote here, but I've done my time in a everyone versus me environment, and I just don't like that. I mean, I'm paranoid enough about strangers in real life generally, and we have laws and police and rules and things, but in a simulated murder... I can't think of another game which closer matches the description murder simulator. You know, that phrase that gets bandied around by ignorant right-wing commentators who don't actually know anything about computer games. This, and presumably PUBG as well, really do fit that thing. There are 100 of you in a field trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. There's no greater goal or glory. They got an XP bar, and you can earn daily challenges of XP for doing X number of this, that, and the other, and there's a cash shop for different T-shirts and whatever, but all on the whole, I found the whole thing just a rather unpleasant experience that I probably don't want to repeat. So there you go. Yeah. Fortnite. I think you should give it a go.
No.
All right.
It's not my kind of game.
Yeah. Over to you.
I'm going to have a quick talk about a mobile game.
Okay.
Now, this is a mobile game.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say from the start, I don't think there's any microtransactions in it. You pay to play to start. It's £3.50 or so, and then you play. Mm-hmm. And then you can play for as long as you want. There's no stupid timers.
Okay, sounds good.
This is a game, it's a Japanese game, called Million Onion Hotel. Million Onion Hotel.
That's a great name. I like that.
Which is basically a puzzle line matching type clicking game.
Okay.
Where you have this grid and onions on it, you tap the onion, and when you make lines or whatever, you get a score.
I'm sorry, I just find the word onion very funny.
I know.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it is.
It's a funny word.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's all very hectic, and lots and lots of interesting sounds, and lots of interesting lights, and lots of interesting things that happen. And I couldn't tell you what the hell's going on in it. I'm just clicking away like mad. There's boss fights, which involve clicking on lights, and it's the same puzzle game. It's really, really fast and frantic. And then
Sounds amazing.
Then between fights, it goes to a plot, which starts off with the guy going to a hotel, having sex with a lady.
Right.
Then the mafia fighting the army in there, and yeah, it gets a bit weird.
Wow. It sounds yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
I like it.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. I've got no clue at all, but I really like
Study
it.
notes or a wiki or something.
I haven't looked for any spoilers.
Right. Spoilers.
It's fast, frantic, and quite fun, and you will end up jabbing your screen a lot. But it's a cheap game that doesn't have any stupid trying to get you to pay lots of money to play it more. So
Right.
I'm going to say that it's the best game on mobile that I played for a long time.
Wow. Okay. That's mobile. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the Saturday.
Oh, yeah, Saturdays now.
Saturdays, yeah. Somehow I seem to have talked myself into doing static group Minecraft on Saturdays. Nick Soy,
yeah.
friend of the show,
I should
has
go on to
got
that.
a server. There's some details in
That's into my
Slack and
film,
what have you. Yeah, and there's various people who've all set up their own little bases and fortresses and
Yep.
RF storage systems and what have you. But we like to try and do some sort of communal exercise on the Saturdays. Previous week we did a circle line underground system.
I've still not found that.
No, it's because you built a bit far off the route, so
Yeah.
we're going to have to do a branch line for your place, and
Tell
we
me
will
what-
do that. Yeah.
tell me what it is.
You haven't got anything important on level 51, have
No.
you? Good, because we sort of went through Nick's always water wheel almost immediately.
Was he there?
We started off with it because Dathmar just made a tunnel one
Yeah.
time when he was on there, just no particular reason. It was really long and quite impressive. So we co-opted that and used that as the basis of the start of the train line. And now there's this big circular line that you've actually got twin rails, the powered rails, the little mine carts. You sit in them, push the button, boom, off you go, rumble, rumble, rumble.
And it's run a station.
It's hilarious. Yes, pretty much all of the people in the central area have got stations. And yeah, we just need to send out a branch line towards where you are. Yeah. So this week I decided I needed 2 prismarine shards, which can only be got from guardians, which come from underwater temples, and that started
Did it snowball?
It went a bit over the top. Yeah, it got out of hand quite badly. Well, we found a guardian temple and we sort of poked it a bit and got shot and killed a few times, and that just. We got, my solution to any adversity in Minecraft is to build around the problem. So,
yeah.
So Nick's always rather powered up with all the Britannia gear, and he managed to deal with the Elder Guardians, and the rest of them we've decided we're going to expose the temple to the air. So we built massive retaining walls of gravel around the place, and we're now evacuating all the water, and it turns
Fill it
out
with sand.
the Guardians still carry on spawning, and they don't like it when there's no water. They sort of flop about a bit, and that's good because I hate them because they killed us lots. Yes, so... Yeah, they're these like beholder squid things with a fish tail that shoot eye lasers, and they're quite powerful and quite dangerous. So we're taking the fight to the enemy by you see we're making them fight on our terms, which is generally above the water. And it turns out they're not amphibious. So there you go, science. So we've got this massive excavation of sand and gravel on the go that's trying to expose this temple to the air. And we were using the mining charges to initially lay siege to them, and so it's going to be a ruin when we expose it. Pre-ruined ruin. Relics of the future. Yeah, proactive archaeology. That's what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, and there's quite a few other ideas of things we want to try and come up with and things we want to do that sort of requires quite a lot of manpower. The fun of it, I think, is for me is not just it's another shared Minecraft server. Let's just race off to the distance and build a fort and not talk to anyone or anything. This time, I'm trying to keep close to the centre, keep in touch with each other, and then work together on things. Static group Minecraft, cooperative building, it makes the whole thing totally different for me than because, like I say, we've done a lot of Minecraft. I've done a lot of vanilla Minecraft, and I'm bored of that basic thing, and I'm frankly a bit bored of some of the lengthy quest book stuff we've been doing on the the episodes.
Age of Engineering is still good.
But just trying to build increasingly insane projects, coming up with them and executing them using the tools and things that we got available. It's quite a challenge, quite interesting, and it's a good social thing as well. There's loads, a couple of us all in there digging away and
Yeah.
accidentally dropping gravel on each other and
As
setting
you do.
fire to each other, that kind of thing. Yeah, good times. So yeah, I'm just enjoying Minecraft still. I can imagine a time when I'm not playing Minecraft, but I don't know if it's I don't know how far off that's going to be.
Well, the thing is, the mods change so frequently.
Yes.
It's like a new game all the time.
Yeah, we've got a different set of mods to anything I've
Yeah.
played with before in this one, as well as some that I'm familiar with as well, and a new world to ruin.
Level. Reduce the
Utterly-
bedrock.
utterly industrialise. Yeah, it's good times. So yeah, doing that on Saturdays if I make it back from my forlorn wandering around the hillsides in time.
Did
Public
you
transport.
actually drive?
I drove to the finishing place and then got buses and trains and buses
Okay.
back to the start and then
Oh, that
basically
makes sense.
walked back to my car. Well, that worked for me because that means
Yeah.
I get there and I'm tired and I've finished and I don't have to spend 4 hours
And
going to
you have
Woking.
the luxury of a nice warm car.
Yeah, exactly. I can just get in the car and go home, which was actually only about an hour and a half instead of the 2.5 hours it takes to go via Woking and 8 different train connections. So that was good.
Never rely on trains in this country.
Well, I want to support. I like the idea of trains, but they just don't do the job, and it's much easier to drive. So, yeah. There we go. Anything else?
Nope, that's about it.
Do you spill?
You can go along to howtomurdertime.com now with it being up all the time bonus on the website. Yeah, I fixed the problems. You can also go onto YouTube where you can catch our videos. And if you join us in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about more games.
Oh, with that, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.